Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're looking at Botany Essentials Guide, a modern introduction to plant science by Thomas James. This is a strictly informative style book. There are no personal anecdotes from the author, no philosophical musings, and no messages to think about, other than here's a bunch of information on the science of botany. Botany Essentials Guide was published in 2025 by Tagvault, which is an independent publisher of educational books. I'm not very familiar with this company, but I've certainly read lower quality books by bigger publishers. Botany Essentials Guide covers a very wide array of topics related to botany. Having this broad scope and being less than 200 pages, the book doesn't really go into a lot of depth in each of the topics and the fields that it covers. This does, however, make it an excellent choice for someone who might be new to botany. It's not a big time investment to get through the book, and a book like this is perfect for both helping you to find out if this is a topic you may want to go deeper into and finding out about other peripheral aspects of the field that you may not have considered before, with how the author briefly covers all these different aspects of botany, like pathology, ecology, new technologies, and etc. Here are the names of the 12 chapters: Foundations of Botany, Plant Anatomy, Plant Physiology, Plant Reproduction, Plant Genetics and Evolution, Plant Ecology, Plant Diversity, Economic and Applied Botany, Plant Pathology, Environmental and Conservation Botany, Modern Tools and Techniques, and Timeline and Terminology, which covers important events in the history of botanical science, and then a short afterword. The book is very well written with a high level of organization. Plus, it's got tables, bold type for the important terms, and there's a glossary at the end. And every chapter is organized into sections. It's very much like a textbook, which is really nice because textbooks tend to be really expensive, whereas this book is not. My only complaints are that it's kind of odd how the author decided what to leave out. It's understandable that when you're covering so many aspects of a subject, you have to decide what to include and what to leave out. And in this department, I feel like the author didn't do the greatest job. I also think this book could have really benefited from being another 100 pages or so. And a book like this could also benefit from more pictures, especially when covering things like anatomy. I think there are only like 2 pictures in this book, and that can be really valuable as a learning aid for something like this. I'm not sure why they didn't use more pictures. That doesn't mean that the book isn't worth reading, though. I really enjoyed this book, and I did learn a lot of things that I hadn't encountered already. Other than these small criticisms, the rest of the book is exactly what I like in nonfiction. This kind of format is why I invest so much time in reading. And I know I've said this before, but I want to say that I mention this because I've noticed that this is something that I don't see getting mentioned a lot in other book reviews. What I mean is that some book titles may draw you in with a focus on a particular scientific field, but the author may take a more biographical approach in their writing, and I think this is a pretty helpful thing to know about a book, and I would love to see this get mentioned more in book reviews, because that's going to be something that helps me determine whether I want to purchase and invest my time in reading something. I also want to close by saying if you're interested in plants and if you're just after information, I think you'll really like this book. Anyone who works with plants should benefit from reading this. If you've already read other botany introduction books, you may find yourself wishing there was a bit more to this book. But you also may be turned on to another aspect of botany that you hadn't considered before. The word modern is in the title, and rightfully so. The author made sure that this book addresses where we are today, and this book just came out. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you love plants and you love learning, but you don't want to spend $100 on a textbook, this may be what you're looking for. You might want to check out Botany Essentials Guide by Thomas James.